guys, I hope everybody's doing well. So this is Crystal Rose Tarot and I am Holly, and we're going to take a look and see what is coming towards you. So we're going to use the Sacred Destiny Oracles to get started. I'm going to give these a quick shuffle here and spread these all out. We will be getting 4 piles as usual. So I'm going to go ahead and pull all the cards and then we'll turn them over as I get them all out. So pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. Okay, so pile 1, what is coming towards you? We have the embracing. Okay. Pile 2, we have power. Okay. Pile 3, trust. And pile 4, pleasure. Okay. So if you need it, there's always a little bit of a meditation after the intro. You can kind of just pause the video right there and make sure you're always setting your intentions for whatever you need to hear for your highest good. These are general readings. Please don't try to make any reading fit into your life. This reading should come through naturally. You should kind of pick up on some things, how you're feeling about the reading should kind of flow. And if there's a message that happens to come through that you don't resonate with, just know that that's a message that's meant for someone else. If you resonate with the overall reading, then that's definitely your reading, even if there's a few messages that come through that aren't necessarily for you. Please keep in mind, you are in control of this reading. You have the ability to click off at any time. No one is keeping you here. If you start to feel uncomfortable, if you start to feel very triggered in any way, that's not the purpose of these readings. These are meant to be helpful and entertaining, not hurtful in any way. So please, please, please utilize your ability to click off if you need to. And with that being said, timestamps for everything will be down below, and I will see you at your pile. Hey, pile 1. So if you chose embracing, so we're talking about what is coming towards you. And this stork that's here, which I believe crane, stork, this white bird. You also see like a little bit of a reflection of this bird here. I do feel like this is more of a representation of you. There's this purity that's here, this fresh new beginning, this starting over energy that's here, where even though there's this reflection of the bird is actually looking forward. So I feel like you are past the point of reflecting on some things and you're ready to now look forward and have this, brand new clear beginning. But with that being said, you notice in the distance here there's these mountains. Mountains in the cards for me represent challenges, obstacles, and this is just this idea of knowing that this may be kind of smooth here in the beginning, but in the future there's going to be more obstacles and more challenges to come. So if this sounds like you about where you are now, this is going to be your message. So there's also, it looks like the reflection of the sun here going down. So I do feel like that's something that is further ahead, and I'll kind of get into what I mean by that as we get into the reading. Okay, so embracing. I feel like you're embracing this new beginning. I feel like you're embracing what's coming towards you. And some of y'all, you may already have, this may be something that you have set in your mind or something that's physically taking place, but overall it's you embracing what's ahead. Okay, I just saw purifying. So it kind of ties into what we're already talking about. We do have the bell here, which is a warning card. We'll see what that's about. We have a ring here as well, so committing to something. Okay, perhaps needing to commit to something. I saw care as well, so that could represent needing to commit to taking care of something or caring for yourself, committing to yourself. Okay, so these are the answer oracles. We're going to use these to get started, and then we'll get into the tarot. Tell me what is coming towards pile 1 that they need to know. That was progress that tried to come out. What was coming towards pile 1 that they need to know about? Terrific. That's always a good card to see, right? Fantastic results, greatness, and great moments. We have timing here. Treatment. One more. Indifference. We also have at the bottom, empty. Now that is that card, that energy here of purifying. It actually says purify on here. Clean, purify, empty, and practice. So the practice kind of falls in line with the challenges ahead, right? So it feels like this is a situation where, you know, practice is important. So you may not be exactly ready for what you have in the future, what you're looking towards, but you know there's going to be some happy moments, and this is a good part of it. You also know there's going to be some challenges, and I think that you're in this place where you feel like, you know, practice or this repetitiveness is going to get you to, you'll feel comfortable as you go. It's that kind of a feeling. Timing is relevant here. So maybe there is a deadline that's going to take place, like a specific time that is very important with treatment, or this could just be something that's going to take some time, kind of what we're insinuating here with the practice. With difference here, this says road, future, which we talked about, choice, and destiny. So I do feel like that for some of you, this is going to look a little different. Now, the care card that I saw when I was shuffling also had a teddy bear on it. Teddy bears could be relevant for somebody or a sign. But this can also represent going in different directions or disagreeing or not being on the same page, but just knowing that there's some kind of difference when it comes to the choices or direction that you're heading. This could be compared to someone else that you may be in a commitment with, which is another card that we saw. This could also just be going, you know, kind of going against the grain or going against what other people feel like you should be doing. So this could be part of that obstacle or difficulty that you're seeing here in the future of knowing that there's going to be a mountain to cross there. So I feel here is what we're going to focus on, this middle energy, because I do feel like you have this understanding, yes, there's going to be great moments. You also have this understanding of, yes, you're going to be met with these challenges. You already know what these challenges look like. And then here in the middle, I think is where your primary focus is when it comes to what's coming towards you. So the timing and treatment. Something either you're having to wait for, you know there's a deadline here, or you're having to, again, get in that rhythm, in that repetitiveness practice, and that's going to take some time. And this treatment is like, you know, length being part of the healing. Like you have to have, over time, the wound will heal itself, will get better. I also feel like this might have to do with, over time, things will be able to repair. For some of you, if this is a deadline, if this has to do with some sort of date or timing thing, as far as where you're going, the direction that you're moving into, I feel like that some of you, I just got a message, some of you may be going through some kind of surgery or something, and you know that the recovery is part of it, and that's going to be met with some challenges, but it's going to take some time. So back to the reading. I feel like that for a lot of you, this treatment has to do with something that needs your attention, you know is going to need your attention, and that's important here. Okay, so with empty being the bottom of the deck, it's like starting over, starting fresh, like we talked about. It's also about cleansing. I just heard cleansing your space, so that might be that for some of you, trying to kind of out with the old energy, you know, even, you know, your past self, you're moving on, you're changing your environment, you're changing your circumstances, you're changing the whole direction of what you're going into. For some of you, this might be years in the making. For others of you, it might be like a long time since you've had some sort of change. Okay, let's get the tarot. I am going to use this is the everyday, this is the Modern Witch Tarot. Okay. I caught myself, didn't I? I was like, wait a second now. That's not right. Okay. She's also holding an umbrella here. Or he or she or they are holding in an umbrella here as they're walking. There's this feeling of protection, or knowing what you need to do in order, like knowing that you need to protect yourself as you're on this journey. Some of you, that might be against your own self, like protecting your, like when it comes to the rhythm, when it comes to routine, when it comes to deadlines, when it comes to stuff like that, and repairing and sticking to something, you know. And for some of you, this has to do with protecting yourself from yourself. So no self-sabotage in here, you know, that kind of feeling. Okay. Everything is fine. As I take that big, long breath and I have my eyes closed, this card pops out. Everything is fine. So this could be something that you're kind of telling yourself here. Yeah, I kind of feel that too. I feel this overall feeling of practicability here. Give me a second. I feel this overall energy of thinking logically, being smart, staying dedicated, being on this path. It's kind of like it's not like these great moments are just happening for you. I think that you're making these great moments happen, or you know that you have to contribute in order for that to be, you know, something that's there for you. With everything is fine though, I mean, this is just something that's wanting to be pointed out, is the fact that you've been through a lot. I think that, you know, this is the Ten of Swords in this deck, but there's two of these, and this one is the one that just says everything is fine. Clearly, it is not, right? There are some things I feel like that you have been having to bury. I don't feel like it's like things that, how do I explain this? It's things that you're having to, obstacles and things that you've went through that you've had to kind of bury or move on from, but aren't, you may feel like they're not over with. You're still going to have to deal with some things there. Or it's basically when you say, okay, I have to do this, you know, I have to move on from this. I have to move forward with this. I have to do this. There's this feeling of either you're having actually to do it because of the circumstance and make the best out of that, or you're just telling yourself, okay, you can do this. You have to do this for yourself. Let's move on. Everything is fine. We can make this work. We can make this happen. Okay. I'm going to put that back in there. Tell me about what is it that is coming towards pile one? What is it that's coming towards pile one? What do they need to know for their highest good? Ooh, 5 of Swords. Okay. So because I just mentioned what I did, and one of the things that I said was that, you know, there's going to be this internal or external conflict that you're kind of having to bury or put down, but may resurface, and that's going to be kind of a battle, you know, internal, external battle. Let's see what this is about. I do feel like they're wanting to talk about that. This could be because they're, you know, the card's insinuating, giving you some sort of peace of mind as far as what's coming towards you, warning you ahead of time. We saw the bell in the beginning of the reading, the warning card. Let's see. So as you're on this journey here, this is what's coming towards you. Ooh, can't show that. Okay, just looks like she has a really pretty dress on now. That's the World, so there's the ending. So some of y'all, this has to do with external, internal conflict when it comes to closing out a cycle, moving, traveling, you know, relocating, something like that. Also closing out a cycle, ending something. We have that Nine of Wands, so that's showing that there's going to be some kind of difficulty here. There's some sacrifice that's here as well. I need to point out Six of Wands in the reverse. Okay, Justice in reverse. Libra energy, I do feel like there's going to be some kind of decision that you're either in the process of, you're aware of, or that you will shortly have to make. So why is that Five of Swords here? This is a card of at what cost, and this is difficult, you know, so with saying sacrifice, I do feel like that this for most of you is internal. I feel like that you're conflicted because there's things that you're having to let go or move on from. Judgment. So this feels like a decision. This decision to... With this conflict, you know you're fixing to face something. You know this is going to be hard. And you also know that, for some of you, there's some judgment here from others. I can feel that. And you know that that's going to be something that's here. This judgment from others is something that's obviously going to be a part of this. I don't know if I should cover that. I don't know. Let's keep going. Scorpio energy there with judgment. Why is the World here? I'm going to go ahead and get the overall look. Yeah, the Sun. Going towards the Sun. Closing a cycle out. You clearly, you know, it's like you kind of know what to do, what you know you have to do or need to do. Nine of Wands. The Emperor in reverse. So this is the difficulty. This is the battle that you're going to have to face here. This could have to do with you, like I said before, sticking to that routine, being diligent, being determined to do this for yourself. And this is being the leader, you know, being that person. This is Aries energy. So this is difficult to do this. This is going to be a battle that you're going to have to face. You know, you're going to have to really be disciplined. And this is Leo energy here with the Sun as well. Keep going. Some of you, this is someone that you're going to have to face. Some of you, this is someone that has a very strong character. They could be someone that is very aggressive or somewhat controlling. Now, this doesn't mean they have to be a bad person, but I'm saying they can be that way. You know, we love our families, but our families tend to also seem like controlling at times because, you know, they love us and care about us. That doesn't always come from that place, of course, but sometimes it can pull out the worst in others when we're trying to control what someone else is doing in order to, you know, keep us emotionally balanced. So that could be somebody here you're dealing with as well. Okay, so why is the Six of Wands in reverse? In other words, it could be a spouse, it could be a father figure. This is a masculine energy, but it could be also just someone that is very into their masculine energy, you know, however that looks for y'all. Six of Wands in the reverse. Well, there they are again. This could also represent you, though, like I said before, and you staying disciplined here. This is that logical, if this is you, this is that logical place that I talked about before about where you're going to be going, where you are. Six of Wands in reverse. I think you're recognizing your flaws. Honestly, if this is you, I feel like you're recognizing that something's not going to be successful somewhere. This is like recognizing your downfall, you know, being smart, not being naive to your own shadow self and how that can be a downfall. For others of you, this is recognizing that this is not going to be a very popular opinion of what you're doing here, but you are trying to be smart. You're trying to be logical and do what you feel like is right and the best thing for you. Justice in the reverse. That's Aquarius energy here with that King of Swords. And the Hanged Man. So this is in the works, okay? Knowing what this justice is. And the thing is that this is Pisces energy, the Hanged Man. I feel like you're kind of on the fence. because what you're facing here is this judgment, making this judgment call, because you know it's going to maybe ruffle some feathers. You do have the bird. But you're wanting to embrace it, or you're trying to at least embrace it, depending on your situation. But there are some choices that you're going to be making that you know may be unpopular, or you know are going to be difficult for you to stick to. So when it comes to justice and what's right for you or what's not right for you, it's like you're still kind of on the fence about that, but still you have this internal pull of what you need to do, and you're really trying to follow that guidance. It's difficult. Is there anything I'm missing here? I didn't really talk about the sun, which is kind of funny, and I didn't do that intentionally, but because the sun is the happiest card in the deck. But if you look at the table, there's some very significant, heavy energy cards here. A lot of conflict, a lot of chaos here, and a lot of difficulty, and even character-wise, there's difficult characters here as well. So terrific is here. It was the first card out, but it's kind of like saying, yes, this could be great, but it's going to take a lot of hard work, but it's going to really ruffle some feathers, but not everybody's going to be happy with this choice I'm making, or yeah, that person's not going to be happy about this, or whatever the case. So when it comes to your mindset, in your mind, there's just this little bit of, oh, this could be great moments, this could be awesome, and a lot of all the other stuff that you have to deal with, because you're in that logical state of mind. You're not really in the fantasy world. You're not really in like this inspirational place, which is telling me this is something that's really big, and something either you're having to do that's difficult, or you need to do. This is significant here. The world closing the cycle out. And I think that despite being in this on the fence energy, I think what if this is right or wrong, I feel like you can see that something has to change here clearly. Something has to change. A cycle has to be completed in some way. Okay. For those of you who you're actually dealing with someone, I want to take a look at that real quick with that Emperor in reverse. Because this is somebody that could fight this on you, fight this with you. Ace of Cups in the reverse. This could be somebody that you're in a relationship with, or you're trying to detach from, that you once were in a relationship with. Okay, let's just blew right out. King of Cups here, so there's some Scorpio energy. So I do feel like that this is someone that you do care about. There's emotion here. There's feelings here. But with that Ace of Cups in reverse, it's kind of telling me that you're choosing yourself. Even if you do care and love the other person, I feel like you are making that choice to choose yourself in the situation, because, maybe the other side to this person, again, is very controlling, or can be very manipulative, or you feel like when you're with this person, it was more so everything had to do with them and what they wanted or needed or saw for you, or whatever the case, and less to do with way you wanted to do things for yourself in your life. So take that how it resonates, but I feel like this is where the difficulty sits. I also just pulled the Three of Cups, so some of y'all are definitely separating yourself here from someone with that Three of Cups being there. You could have your reasons here for this, with this Three of Cups being here. That Five of Swords can represent outside interference, of course, being a part of this. Some of you may be feeling like you're left with no choice. Anything else I'm missing? The Eight of Cups in reverse. Okay, for some of you, this may be something that's really difficult to emotionally detach from. And you remember when I talked about the everything is fine card, when it really isn't, because you really just have to bury it, because you kind of have to move on from it despite not wanting to, because There's emotions there. It hurts. It's painful. I think that this is part of the difficulty. This is part of why this is going to be so hard, is because for some of you, this is someone that's still around, still in your life. Or for some of you, it's just emotionally, you cared about this person a lot. And so it makes it even more so difficult for you to walk away here and do what you need to do for yourself. So you should know, if that's you and that's the story, yeah, this is going to take some time, right? Remember, we were talking about the time and the treatment. It's going to take some time to heal from this. And I would say give yourself some grace for that. And this is part of also the challenges, knowing that, you know, at first you may be filled with feeling good and feeling the new energy and new things. Once things start to settle and it's not as new anymore, then that's when memories start to kind of be created back or come back up. And it's like you know this isn't going to be easy. You're going to have to leave some things behind. You may have to leave someone here behind that you cared a lot about. And I think it's just saying, you know, give yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace with that, and allow yourself the time that you need. Don't be too hard on yourself about that. Take some time, you know, to detach from the people that we loved and cared about. But we also always have to remember to do what we need to do, especially when we feel like, you know, this 9 of Wands here where you've really been through it. You know, the 9 of Wands is someone that is just really has given everything that they could give to the situation. You know, this is the Wounded Warrior card. So you need to recognize that. And she's looking right at the world. So the world's looking back at her. And also kind of looking up here at the treatment. So you've known that this, you know, detachment or separation is what you've needed to do, perhaps maybe for a while, or you've been in the process of that for a while. Okay. It doesn't just stop when you shut the door, you know. You just need to remind yourself of that. Okay, let's move on. Is there anything else that is coming towards? Let's talk about this. The good energy, right? Because you know how difficult this is, like I was saying, you know how difficult this is going to be. And you know things can be good, but it's just harder to see that when you know you're also facing some challenges. So tell me about the good things. Can you tell me about what the good things are that's coming towards pile 1 here that they may not be acknowledging, seeing, or knowing of? The 3 of Wands in reverse. Can you clarify that for me? The 6 of Wands in the reverse. There's something to do with no more waiting. No more waiting. The Page of Pentacles in reverse. For some of you, this is no more waiting on something that you thought was going to happen that never happened. Waiting on whatever this Page of Pentacles is offering. Or this could even look like, let's just say you're in a particular place and you've been trying to make a home there, trying to make a community there, trying to build there and grow, and it just hasn't felt right, or it just hasn't really been working out or really happening for you. So part of the good thing here is that you're walking away or leaving behind, you know, something that wasn't growing anyways. For some of you, this might have to do something with a relationship. For others of you, this could be waiting on certain opportunities to happen for you, and they just aren't happening. You know, this could be like career, right? But as far as something good coming towards you, I feel like you're not having to defend yourself or fight when it comes to whatever environment that you're in. So for those of you where this is a relationship, this could be like, you know, at least I don't have to wake up every day and be worried and on eggshells about an argument, you know, or at least I don't have to see that person anymore, or at least I can put that behind me and try somewhere else and start over here, you know. Okay. What about anything else? What's good coming towards them? Tell me about this, please. 6 of Swords in the reverse. So waiting for something to get better or waiting for something to happen for you is definitely like you no longer have to do that anymore. Seven of Wands. Yeah, that Knight of Cups. For some of you, this really has to do with fighting for someone to see you, you know. And this could be in your career, you know, this could be in anything, but fighting for someone to see how passionate you are, or to see how much you care about them. Tell me about the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. The three, there it is, that Three of Swords. So this is really a really significant part of what is good here is what you won't have to experience anymore. You know, what you're actually detaching from or what you're releasing. That Three of Swords with that Page of Pentacles is the pain. You won't have that pain anymore. For some of you, that surgery thing's popping back in. Now, I don't do health readings. I feel like you need to go to a doctor always for that, not tarot. But that's something that's here could be something significant as you're going through some kind of surgery or something. And you know, like you've been in a lot of pain and the surgery is going to help with that. So you know, like that's what you're leaving behind is you have to, you know, go through this and heal, and it might take a while to heal, but you have to go through this and it will make you feel better in the long run. So leaving behind the pain from waiting, from having to defend yourself in some way. You're just leaving all this behind. I really feel like you're headed more towards a peaceful place, but it's something that has to be created, not something that's given. You know, peace really isn't given. It's what you create for yourself. And that's very different to all of us. You know, loud noises in my house is peace to me. Because I have 3 kids. I don't know why, I just got emotional when I said that, but I have 3 kids, and loud, when they're gone and it's quiet, it feels wrong. It feels unsettling to me. And so I like the loud noises, right? That's peace. To other people, it'd be like, oh, I gotta go home. Yeah, this house is crazy. Okay. What overall advice, message, anything? Okay, I'll take it. Queen of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. Believe in yourself. You can do what you're thinking about doing, okay? You need to just believe in yourself. You are very capable, but it has, like I just said, it comes from within of what you're creating. You have to have confidence in yourself to make this happen. Point blank, period, right? Okay. I don't know why I added that to it. I never say that, so I don't know if somebody says that or what, but that Sagittarius energy there. Wuss! That's a great way to end this reading. We had an Empress at the bottom of the deck. I mean, I did not do that intentionally, I promise, guys, but that Nine of Pentacles, which I haven't even talked about really, is pre-Empress energy. So to have the Empress here is just kind of clarifying this and just gluing this whole reading together for me. So that's Libra and Taurus. So Sagittarius, Libra, and Taurus are here. The Nine of Pentacles, and look at the way she's looking over at her. So good. So good. The Nine of Pentacles is when you feel at that peaceful place, like I talked about. When you know, she knows how long it's taken, all the hard work she had to put into everything to get her fruit to be as big as it is, to be ready, you know, to be able to eat off of everything that she's growing. She's going to have a festive year, right? With all the fruit that she's bearing here. You know, but it takes a lot of work to get this done. If y'all have ever been in a gardening, you know it takes a lot of work. If you don't take care of it, it ain't going to happen very good. And so she's looking at this Empress, and this is you. This is you knowing good and darn well how much work and effort and everything that you're putting into this and what you can accomplish for yourself. But you have to back that up with this drive, with this routine, with this knowing that you can do it. You know, picking yourself up and moving forward with whatever you got your mindset on. Believing in yourself. They have the Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords. No kidding. Some of y'all really, really are walking away from some kind of relationship with that Two of Cups in reverse. This could also look like a partnership that or a contract perhaps that you're walking away from. But you know what you need to do here. You know, that Ten of Pentacles is there. There's that cycle, the Ace to the 10, and then you have that Wheel of Fortune and the Empress. So this is about knowing, understanding, and seeing clearly what you have to do in order to build that abundance or that peaceful place for yourself. And it's just going to take some time to grow. It's not something that happens overnight. Okay. But the Empress can make it happen. She is the one that bursts things, you know, into reality. And this is what you're doing. This is what this reading's about. It's about you taking something that is very difficult internally, externally, and making a judgment call and saying, okay, this is it. If I really want to be happy here, I have to make some changes. I have to go with what this is. I have to move in this direction. Okay. So let's get some overall cards for advice. Stopped myself. I went to grab some cards and I was like, wait, no, I'm going to go somewhere else. You know what? Let's get a postcard from Spirit. Let's just close the reading with a postcard from Spirit. And then we'll get some initials and some charms to close it out. What overall message do you have for pile 1? What overall message do you have for pile 1? Okay, this says, be fearless. That's the Queen of Wands. She's fearless. You know why she's fearless? Because she knows who she is. She knows what she's capable of. She knows how awesome she is. And she knows that she's capable of doing what she has planned to do. She has the discipline. Everything here that you need, that you're looking for, you have. It's just right there inside of you. You just have to use it. Okay. Be fearless. Dearest you. Sometimes it's wonderful to give, but there are times that you might find yourself overgiving. Some of y'all may be coming out of some people-pleasing tendencies. This could be even in a relationship, like I already talked about that. Always doing the other person's way and needing to do something, you know, your way. Now might be a good time to check in and see where you might be cutting off the flow of abundance. Let others give to you, even if you are more comfortable being generous and being the giver, the healer, the rescuer. In the art of living, we sometimes overlook an important skill: receiving gracefully and with gratitude, without diminishing yourself or trying to deny vulnerability or being an agenda of equality to it. Receiving is hard for some people, maybe you. You do not need a this for that in exchange with others. You are doing good in the world. Let the world give back to you and support you. Then you can give up on the old stories that have you convinced that you have to do everything alone with no help. Let your will be filled. We all love you so much. This card is reminding me something I did not mention as far as advice in this reading. So this is something that needs to be addressed and pointed out. Just because you are the Empress doesn't mean that you won't ever need help. And this card is saying, yes, we know you can do it on your own. You're capable of that. We know that. But don't make it harder on yourself than it has to be. If you have family, if you have friends, if you have, certain ways of doing things that can be beneficial to you and take some of the pressure off, please utilize those. Those are tools. I believe in a higher source. I believe in angels, and I believe that we can all be angels for others, and you just have to know when to see it. And don't be ashamed ever at taking the help when you need the help. We all need help sometimes. All of us. Every single one of us. We are human beings, and we're meant to work together as a team. We're meant to connect with one another. So that's why we have friends. That's why we have family, you know. Um, so connect and allow yourself to be receptive. The Empress is feminine energy, obviously, and she is receptive. She is a receptive energy. She receives. It also comes with receiving help as well. So don't ever feel shameful, guilty, or anything with that. Know that, you know what, if someone else was in the position that I was in and I reached out to them, I would want them to accept my help, because I'm being genuine, and I'm trying to, you know, to benefit or help them out. Now, if they take that and they don't utilize it, or they abuse it or something like that, that's a different story. But if you're in the position to where you're asking for that, don't be afraid of of taking that chance when you need it, because that can really be a good benefit to you. You don't know how many times in my life I've heard people say, oh, I was afraid to ask. Well, I was just afraid to ask you. You ever hear somebody say that to you? You know, were they really afraid because of your response, or were they just kind of felt more shameful or guilty for asking, you know? Okay. I don't know why I just went all off into that, but there's that. Choose happy is in here, so whatever it is that you're leaning towards that makes you happy, go for it. As long as you're not hurting nobody, right? You have the soccer ball, so going back and forth. It's going to be either one way or another. That's up to you, right? Somebody may try to play games with you. I have to mention this, okay? We saw that earlier. Somebody may try to play games with you. I would say don't go back and forth with that person. You have the astronaut, so you're definitely stepping outside of your comfort zone here. But you have the rocket ship. Little Einstein was here with the rocket ship. So, to me, this is another indicator that, yes, you're capable and you can do it. You can make it happen, right? But you have an astronaut, you have a rocket ship, so there's no excuse. You also have you don't have a soul, you are a soul. Love that. And we have feeling good like I should. Yep. That's something else. Don't let anyone tell you you should feel bad. Like, wow, should I? Should I feel bad? Like, you know, I feel like there's somebody here that may try to make you feel bad in some way, whatever that means to you guys. So just because you're feeling good doesn't mean it's bad. Feeling good like you should, right? Okay, so we have H, F, I, V, U, A, R. We have a K, Z, N, and a W or an M, and a Q. All right. Okay, guys, so I'm going to leave you here. I really hope that this was helpful. This is what's coming towards you. This is definitely something that it's already in your radar. Some of you may not be there yet, but it is going to happen very soon. You'll come into this awareness very soon. But definitely, good luck to you guys. I really do hope this helps. And thank you so much for being here. Thanks for your love and support, of course. And good luck to you guys. And I hope to see you soon. Hey, pile 2. So if you chose power, this will be your reading. So what is coming towards you? Well, you got power. Okay, so I feel like there's some kind of tower that's here. So I do feel like you will feel good in the aftermath, but I feel like this tower moment, right, if it hasn't happened yet, it's something that could be coming in that you may not see it at the time it's occurring, but it can, I feel like, lead to some sort of really powerful move, feeling, moment, something really good, okay? So we'll make more sense of that as we get into the cards, and I'll explain a little more as I go. So we are going to look and see what is this that's coming towards you. We're going to use the answer oracles to get started. I kind of don't want to use these. And I was second guessing this, but I was thinking about using the love oracles, and I was like, do I want to use those though? And I turned and saw this, love. So that was my clarifier that was correct. I'm going to follow my intuition. And okay, I just saw roll the dice and date. So for some of you, this could be what this is, this tower moment that's here. This something unexpected coming in. Okay, let's give this one more shuffle here. Tell me about pile 2. What is coming towards pile 2? What is coming towards pile 2? Divine intervention, told you. So, okay, so you got some divine intervention coming in here. Something that feels very serendipity feel to it, or it feels very catalytic. Something that it could be karma, some kind of karma striking, right? Okay, this is interesting. Let's keep going. What is coming? What is this? It's coming towards with this pile 2 with this divine intervention. Between the lines, I saw this a while ago. So needing to read between the lines. So whatever this is, there's something to do with it, needing to read between the lines with it. It's funny too because you have fire and water. So, and the water is after the fire, which puts out the fire. And this is the tower. So, and I talked about the aftermath. So in order to find the meaning behind it or the significance behind it, you're having to read between the lines. Something here has more meaning to it than what you think it does when it happens or occurs. Wedding. So I feel like for some of you, this is a relationship. And I saw date before. This could be somebody you don't know yet that's coming in. But for some of you, this could have to do with the hidden meaning when it comes to some kind of tower moment that leads to like a deeper relationship, you know? Either with yourself or with someone else. Take it how it resonates. Ooh, we have regrets here. Let me see what the bottom of the deck is real quick. Reconciliation. This just took a weird turn, to be honest with you. This feels like, yeah, ex-lover, spiritual awakening. You have somebody here that, and you may already be with this person. Y'all may have recently reconciled. But for some of you, you may be with someone here. You have text message there, an ex-lover. This is somebody that, okay, so this is going to be one of the, we're heading in this direction. I knew we were. That's why I was hesitating with the love cards, okay? So for those of you who aren't rekindling anything, you're not, in a relationship where you recently decided to work things out or something like that is going on, or there's someone that you're expecting to return or something like that is going on, not your reading, okay? All right, so with that being said, I probably lost half my viewers in this reading, but this is not that surprising right at the end of the year, right? With the holidays and everything that's going on and this rekindling kind of energy here with this reconciliation. I feel like you have somebody here that has had some kind of wake-up call or some kind of epiphany. And I think that there's a tower moment that's going to take place with this person. And there's a need to see the hidden meaning or see or understand the lesson that was here, and the meaning of something is going to be deeper. Like there's a deeper understanding when it comes to this connection or this relationship that someone here is realizing. And there's some regrets that are here, some choices that were made that someone feels like maybe were a mistake, or there's this apologetic energy that's here, okay? When it comes to this relationship. Interesting. Not the direction I thought we were going to go in at all. Okay. This is there's 3 cups in reverse and the Ace of Swords in reverse. So this can be like a dishonesty when it comes to outside interference, or not knowing, someone that you've distanced yourself from, no communication or something like that with that Ace of Swords in reverse. Something not being, it's just the unknown. So let's see what that's about. Not seeing the truth of something when it comes to outside interference or some kind of third-party interference. Not seeing the truth of the relationship at the time. Ten of Swords in the reverse with that Six of Cups. There's history here with this person, and this is about recovering from a painful ending. So that's that reconciliation, just to clarify. Tell me about this. What is coming towards pile 2? The Eight of Cups. Yeah, somebody had some kind of realization when the other person walked away. That's what we're looking at here, this Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is about emotionally detaching, and that could be it as well. Having to, maybe that's, this could be in either way, but it's basically, I'm going to read it as I can read it to either person, I guess. We'll see how that goes. Easier said than done. She's walking into these mountains, so she knows that there's going to be this challenge that's here, but this is also when this tower occurs, this divine intervention. So there's something here that causes someone to walk away or move, or try to detach from. This can be like when something happens in a relationship or a connection, and you have to emotionally detach yourself because you have to move towards what like, this is not serving me, this is not good for me emotionally, whatever the case, I'm not going to be happy here, and having to walk away from that. That's what we're seeing here. So this could be because of this person, or it could be something else that's going on with this divine intervention that's here. Tell me about the almost said Nine of Wands. I guess I was kind of feeling that. Maybe that's something that's really difficult. This Eight of Cups is, it is really difficult because there's 8 cups there. That's out of 1 out of 10. You've made it to 8 emotionally, so that's pretty far. So that's difficult to just turn your back and walk away from. Why is between the lines here? Seven of Pentacles is understanding that there was no stability here. There was no longevity here. There was no goals here long term, or it was something that wasn't getting there, wasn't proceeding, wasn't getting anywhere. Their roots were not good roots that were being planted. So that's where it's, the hidden meaning is in between the lines is, hey, it wasn't going to work out here, Why is or it wasn't progressing anywhere. This can also have to do with how much effort someone put into something and someone having maybe a realization over that, this hidden meaning, understanding why someone may have walked away. Why is the wedding card here? You may have been married to this person, or you were just in a commitment with this person. But this is also union, so I feel like this is part of that reconciliation. Why is wedding here? Look, Nine of Wands. Told y'all I felt that. And look, you have 7, 8, and 9 here too. I feel like this feels like somebody giving in to a relationship or to a union, or giving up. Oh yeah, look, there's your 10. That's pretty awesome. I love the tarot. People ask me, like, why do you like doing that? And I'm like, I just love it. I just love it. There's so much magic in the cards. It's like I get to see a magic show, like, all the time, So you have 7, 8, 9, and 10 here. It's funny to have the 7 and the 8 the wrong way. Good thing we don't have 6, 7 here, right? So when you see it flip side like this, it really makes me want to focus on the fact that there's cause and effect, you know? So because you couldn't see something progressing or changes, or, you know, something good wasn't in the future of this, or just wasn't going anywhere, maybe you didn't have the same idea of the road that you were on. It's realizing because of this, because of that, there's this Eight of Cups, so this need to walk away. So this is the reason, and this is the hidden meaning, and this could also be that awakening and realization that someone's having as well. Nine of Wands, giving up. Something being so difficult that you just let it go. You just give up on it. This could be someone's realization. This could also just represent a relationship being very difficult, you know, to move forward with. And obviously there's reasons here because of that. With this Ten of Swords, I feel like this is someone understanding why perhaps you walked away, like a deeper understanding of it. That could be what's leading to this reconciliation. Someone had some kind of wake-up call, I feel like. Some kind of tower moment wake-up call. Could just be you walking away, but I think there's more to it than that. Ten of Swords in the reverse here with this, you know, obviously with this guilty card is basically saying timing is an issue here too. Someone may feel like that the deadline, like they didn't meet a deadline or they didn't stick to something. She's looking right at the ground where it says deadline here. Right? Yeah, on that card. And this is about recovering from a very, very significant painful loss. Or trying to avoid that. So someone has some kind of regrets around this ending that's taken place, or the way maybe perhaps the ending took place. Regretting how something occurred or the way that something happened. This is somebody I feel like trying to also kind of cushion the fall. But I feel like there's been a long time, or it's like this person, it took them a while to get to this point. Like with deadline being there and she's laying on the ground. It's like, I think it took this person a long time to get to have this wake up or realization. I'm not sure why that is yet, but let's see what the Eight of Cups is. The Sun. The Sun. The Sun is Leo energy. It's the happiest card in the deck, right? Everybody says that. The Sun's the happiest card in the deck. It's a lot of other things too. It's about new beginnings. It talks about realizations, and you know, the sun comes out. It shines light on everything. And I think that's more so the case in y'all's reading. With the Sun, I feel like it's because of something happening here, someone walking away. It's shined light on a lot of things, either about someone that they weren't seeing. This could have been this divine intervention. This is also seeing clearly what you need to do in the situation, or what you're going to have to do here in the situation, right? Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. I just feel like somebody didn't understand this. And I mean, I feel like they do now, but the Three of Wands in the reverse, that's it. The Seven of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles, Three of Wands. This is again something not going according to plan. You know, sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting, anticipating for something to grow, just like the Seven of Pentacles, or waiting for something to happen that never happens. You know, I waited here a long time for someone to put effort into this, or for these goals to be acquired, or, you know, for this to happen, and it just wasn't going to happen. And this is where you're going down this road and you're saying, okay, what was the lesson in that, and what do I need to do with this? So with what's coming towards you, I feel like that this is the understanding that's here. The deeper understanding is the reason why you had to walk away from something. And it was because something wasn't changing or evolving or becoming any different. Why is the Nine of Wands in the reverse? There's that Three of Cups in reverse. Yeah. You know that feeling when you know somebody really well and it's a really hard realization to come to when you know somebody so well, you know them well enough to know that you're not going to be able to get that person to see your point of view or perspective. And so you don't fight for it. You know, you just, you know them. And you say, I'm choosing not to participate in this battle because I just know you're not going to be able to see my point of view. I just know you're not going to see my perspective here. So I'm choosing for my own mental health and my own emotional self to walk away from this because it would just not be good for me to participate, you know, in trying to convince you to have empathy for my side of the story. You know, just it's a weird feeling. It's also very it's kind of humbling in a way because it's kind of like realizing that you can't change the way other people perceive you. You just can't. You can't change the way that other people see you. And what you can do is show them something different. I mean, you can act accordingly, and with time, that's something that can be rebuilt sometimes. But you can't just make them see you a certain way. And I don't know why that's coming up here, but it's something that's a part of the difficulty here, I feel like, in this. That Three of Cups being in reverse, honestly feel like that this is knowing how difficult something was for the relationship or for the connection. And this to me can also be like distance with you and someone. This is like when you don't have that person that you can trust. You know, it becomes very difficult to trust someone that is not sticking to the actions of what they said they would. You know, it's or the routines or whatever the case, you know, for you guys. This is when you say, okay, I can't trust you anymore. You know, I can't work with you anymore. I can't rely on you anymore. You know, I need that supportive emotional partner that I'm not getting here from you. And here I've waited for this, and waited for this. And it's starting to have the reverse effect. The relationship itself, it starts to have a reverse effect where it creates a lot of distance, and that creates a lot of confusion, which creates a lot of lack of trust in the situation. And I think that's kind of what happened here. For some of you, there's something to do with the third party interference. That is something that is just not tolerable here with this Nine of Wands in reverse. Like, I'm not gonna put up with that kind of feeling is here. So 10 of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, you have the World. This is all about why and how something couldn't expand and grow. That 10 of Swords with the World is, to me, it's this looks like reconciliation, but it also looks like an ending. So for some of you, this is closure, you know, with this regret, mistake, apology, wrong choice, guilt that someone is holding on to. There is this releasing of that, which in turn creates this sense of closure here. Okay. Anything else? I want to stop for a second. I want to address something. Don't allow a reading like this to put you into a space to where you're still waiting for something. Because the whole reason that this is playing out in the way that it is because you did what was right for yourself. So I just want to say, like, continue to do what's best for you and continue to be who you are, and being brave and walking away or having the courage to do that for yourself. Because you took up for yourself. You weren't being being taken care of in the right way. You weren't being looked at in the right way. You weren't being, valued or nurtured in the way that you've upheld your standards. And so despite the amount of emotions you had here, or the attachment that you had, you took up for yourself. And I feel like that needs to be recognized. You need to kind of, you nurtured yourself and your own needs. And I think that's something that may have been difficult for you to do just because of who you are. And you just need to really thank yourself for doing that. So when you hear a reading like this, don't allow for it to put you back into a lesser place, because you're where you need to be, and you've earned it. So stay there. Okay, so anyway, so it's just the sun, it's the sun. It's the Eight of Cups and the sun. It's saying, yeah, you walked away, and that was because you were doing what you felt like was the best thing for you to do, what you needed to do. That's hard to do that, It is hard to do what you need to do for yourself, despite what everyone else, or despite how much emotionally you don't want to. It's hard. So definitely don't lose that or let go of that. King of Cups in the reverse. Okay. We have the Emperor and we have the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. That makes sense to me now. I do feel like that this is really closure. I don't see something coming back together. I feel like that this is about closure, honestly. And closure is a hard thing to talk about because you don't need this. This is something that's happening if you want it, if you allow it. And that's your choice. And everybody's going to choose something different. Now, with that being said, I do feel like you're dealing with a character here. Yeah. This is someone that definitely knows what to say, how to say it, when to say it, and they utilize time and energies and utilize it for their storyline, for their benefit, for their narrative. So tell me about the King of Cups in the reverse, the Knight of Cups. So this is someone coming towards you. You have Scorpio, Aries energy there. Tell me about the Emperor in reverse, the Ten of Cups. I do feel like that this is someone that this is going to be hard, because for some of you, this isn't everybody, all right? Different people you are dealing with. But for some of you, this is going to be hard because I feel like this is someone that can switch energies on you very quickly. To if they don't hear what they're expecting, or they want to hear, or get what they want from the situation, this is someone that may try to push on what they feel like would cause you to be insecure. This may have been a tool that they've used in the past to, get their way with you. So, like I said, that's not everybody's message. Please only use that if you know this person, right? Some of you may have a family here with this person, with this Ten of Cups being here. What's the Wheel? The Wheel of Fortune's about second chances. It's that reconciliation. So trying something over again, having another chance to end this in a more civilized way. You know, like I said before, someone feeling like that they regret the ending or how things ended. Some of you, though, this person does have some sort of like hidden agenda here. If that's the case, can you give me a card for that? Ace of Cups. Clarify that. Nine of Pentacles. This could be somebody that just really wants you to be here, be there. And this could be the whole reason of this reconciliation. Let them. Let them think that. Let them feel that. Let them be that. If you feel like this would help you to finally like continue to walk towards your own happiness, then let them feel this way. Just because they feel like that they're doing this so that they'll be able to stick you in their back pocket doesn't mean that that's what's going to happen, right? So just let them think what they want to think of this. If you want the reconciliation, or at least being able to have a conclusion here in a more healthier, balanced way, you know, then by all means, let them think what they're going to think, solidify everything, and move forward. And for some of you, that's not the case. But I am feeling that here. This is somebody that looks at you like this Nine of Pentacles. So this is somebody that wants access to you. For whatever reason, they see you as a Nine of Pentacles. They feel like that you have enough and some. That's the Nine of Pentacles. It's having everything you need, plus you have extra to either give or, you know, more than enough, that kind of feeling here. So, again, know that that's something that's there. Okay. Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Queen of Swords in the reverse. Okay. This is somebody that's coming in trying to turn things around when it comes to you and how they seem that you perceive them. So the Queen of Swords in reverse can be very cutthroat, right? Very quick to no nonsense. She's more than no nonsense. She's mad. You know, she's mad. That's why she has no nonsense. This is like when my son talks back to me. That's what this is. I have to be careful. It can be triggering, you know. What did you just say to me? He doesn't do that very often, but you know, teenagers. I've got almost 2 teenagers now. That's scary. Anyway, Libra energies here. So let's look at more into this with that, because I do feel like this is somebody trying to turn this around. In what way, though, with that? There it is again. Ace of Cups. What about the Ace of Cups? Tell me about it. Some of you, this is somebody that really wants to fully reconcile and have a new beginning with you. The Three of Pentacles in reverse. I mean, this is another opportunity to try to work together, try to work something out. But I feel like that this person doesn't plan on committing to that, though. They don't plan on committing to anything. I'd just be careful if it's here, to be honest with you. It's just, but you already know this person. So let's get some advice, okay? Let's just go into advice. This is somebody that can use maybe they're very romantic, they're very charming, they can utilize that skill to get you to see something, you know, in their perspective. I'm just going to say, like, one of the things that makes this so difficult is because there is love here. Make no mistake, this person does love and care about you. They have manipulative way of going about things. And it has nothing to do with you and them loving you. It has to do with them and how they, really how this person has been taught to love, or how they've been, how they perceive love. And this is someone that sees love and control as the same for whatever reason. So it's just something that this person really needs to heal. And that's why I'm having such a difficult time here, because for some of you, this is not a bad person. But the way that they utilize the love that you have for them and the way that they see love is very distorted. And that's nothing that you can, that's something this person has to see for themselves on their own. You have caused some of that realizations or some of those awakenings that this person has, but they have to now implement the change. And I don't see that happening, at least when this is coming towards you, okay? I'm not saying it can't. Okay. Any advice that we need to leave with pile 2 that I may be missing? Any advice of anything? Queen of Cups. See, your counterpart energies here, and it's emotional counterparts too. You have 2 water signs here. So this is Cancer energy. So yeah, you're definitely, there's emotions here, but this person is more in the controlling sense of the emotions, like I said. Yeah, you have Justice in reverse, the Hanged Man, Pisces, Libra, Knight of Swords in reverse, and the Moon in reverse, more Pisces and Cancer energy. So this is someone that doesn't kind of live up to the expectations or live up to their actions. You've seen this person also in a different way, and that has just been really shown to you. And the unfairness here of someone's actions also has put a big awareness of who this person is for you. So in other words, it's hard to unsee what you've seen, and you're having to utilize your boundaries and keep your emotions to yourself here because of that. As far as advice with the Queen of Cups, there's a signal here of not allowing this situation to change the loving, caring, kind person that you are. And even maintaining that throughout this is also something that is part of it, This is kind of like letting go, but letting go with love. Yeah, the Empress in reverse. Just don't expect that from the same person. When you're a loving, caring person, you will hold on to things that you've done, even if you've done them that you don't feel good about. You'll hold on to those things. There's some people in this world that don't have that. They don't hold on to it. And I feel like this is kind of advice-wise saying, like, have this closure here with love and have love for yourself in this situation and know that you are loving yourself here. And don't allow it to explain this. Keep you stuck or make you feel any less than you are. Because in this situation, I feel like you have at some point, that's going to be sensitive, so I'm hesitating, right? At some point, I feel like you may have let yourself down in this situation. And I think that you need to know here now moving forward is you loving yourself. You know, just like this person, mistakes happen and mistakes are made. Even recognizing that, yes, that was a mistake that I made, but I'm going to love myself from here on out and move forward with that love. So the change is what you need to be focused on here when it comes to moving forward. The Empress in reverse is also a reminder of acknowledging what you're capable of and what you're able to create for yourself, and having love for yourself and what you're able to create for yourself, and allowing that to kind of influence you or move you forward, right? Let me get some more. Why is that Queen of Cups here? Also, don't feel this need, because of this being in this water energy, don't feel this need to nurture here. Don't let that, and this is something else that's here that I feel like maybe part of a lesson here for you is letting that nurturing side kind of take over, even in a distorted way, to where you drain yourself. And this is kind of saying, yes, you can love, but you can love in a way to where you're not draining of your own energy. And I think that's really what has happened here. Because the Seven of Pentacles and the Three of Wands being in reverse, I feel like you've really kind of sat there and waited for some sort of progress or effort or something here. And that's hard when we, think of ourselves and we realize like who we are, and we think about how we've participated in that, just waiting around, and that kind of energy there and nothing happening or moving forward. Yeah, there's some forgiveness that's here, internal forgiveness. Yeah, Nine of Swords in reverse. And don't let it don't let it take from your future either. You've learned what you needed to learn in this situation, and you know how to handle this kind of situation if it is something that returns, or something that returns in a different person. You'll know how to take care of yourself. You know how to take care of yourself better now because of this. So don't let it get in your head, in the future. Don't let it keep you from having abundance and blessings in the future here either. And that's something that you're going to have to work on, right? Yeah, Four of Swords. Give yourself a break, the Fool in reverse, the Five of Pentacles in reverse, the Lovers, Eight of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, the Four of Cups. I like this Four of Cups. It's not really the pictation that we normally see. The Four of Cups are down here below her, and she's in meditation mode. She's not even thinking or looking at those cups. And it's like saying, despite the situation around you or what has happened here or occurred, sitting in that peaceful knowing, I think, is really important. It's something that you're going to find yourself more in, even weeks or months from now. I do feel like you're going to start feeling a lot more confident here in choices, and really kind of also after you've put some time, energy, and work into yourself and focusing on yourself. I think you're going to really start to come out of that place where you feel like you'll never have that person, or even really maybe even worried or even thinking about a relationship. I think you're more focused on the connection that you have to, the higher source or the divine or God or whoever it is that you believe in. It's like having that connection, right, with yourself, I feel like is what's going to be important to you here. I don't feel like you're taking any risk either. I feel like I just feel like you're in a place you're like, you know what? I'm just going to settle here. I'm just going to take a break. I'm going to take a rest. I'm going to just sit right here, focus on myself, do things for myself. And from here on out, whatever happens, happens. I'm open. This is what you need to work on here. Still saying receptive and open to blessings or situations in the future. Not allowing this to close you off is really important. And that takes work too. You know, we don't talk about that, but it's not like we're, you know, it's like having to really put yourself out there for it. Okay. We kind of went into a different phase of this reading, didn't we? This seems like an afterthought. And I think that's really the whole point in this reading as far as what's coming towards you. Is that this reconciliation here with this person, eventually here in your future, it will seem like an afterthought to the amount of work that you've put on yourself and the growth that you've had and where you're going to be at. You know, because you're going to look around and you're going to say, I did this. I created this. I built this. I feel good about this. I feel in a peaceful place. I made this place for myself. And I feel this is harmony. You know, and this connection or this idea of this reconciliation will seem like an afterthought. Okay. That makes sense. Let's get a postcard from Spirit. I did this in the first pile. I just want to do it for y'all too. And then we'll get some initials and some charms to close. Okay, so overall message here for, okay, well, there's 2 cards. I all know I hate reading these 2 cards because they're long. So you are magic, and the other one says live your dreams. I'm going to read both of these, so if you don't want to sit here and listen to them, but these always resonate so well with the reading. So here we go. I might have to take a break after this. Dear you, there's only one you, and you have a unique place in the universe. Sometimes situations come up that challenge you to be authentic, and that means that you have to be fully yourself and let go of being what you think others may want. Now is not the time to conform to other people's standards or expectations. Be proud of who you are and be courageous. Stand tall in your convictions. Being yourself is a powerful statement and will only lead to your success and ultimately happiness. Don't compare yourself to others. Want what you have, choose what your heart wants, and know that your purpose is yours alone. No one can claim your magic nor take it away. When you place authenticity and originality high on your list of priorities and give them a prominent place in your awareness, extraordinary things happen. Your life is a beautiful one. Love you always and forever. Okay. And we have live your dreams. Dearest you, over here there is no mystery for us to unravel, as we know intimately how connected we all are, how the web of creation works, and how spirit is in every aspect of life, from the invisible to the visible. But it's impossible for humans to comprehend the complexities of how things actually work, because the most important threads in the tapestry don't make sense in the dimensions that you live in. That said, can you feel the importance of these currents of energy that bring events together in miraculous ways? You can't understand with your mind, but you know you can with your heart and soul. Trust that even though you don't know the how, the what, or the why, we do. Surrender to the mystery and have faith that the unseen world is watching you with loving eyes as spirit weaves your life's mysterious and beautiful tapestry in glorious technicolor, loving you so much as always. So that was part of this ending here, is you being in this restful period and knowing that here, kind of step aside and allow spirit to be like a co-creator here in your future, but you have to be in that receptive energy. So having faith, in what the future holds and knowing that it is a mystery, but that's also a beautiful thing, I feel like is important here. Okay. Here we go. Have you ever had a situation where you go, man, that turned out way better than I expected? I feel like one day maybe you'll be saying that. We'll see. Okay, I didn't get very many initials, but I'm actually going to leave it because it's pretty long reading anyway. We'll go ahead and get the initials first. We have A, G, M. If we got an E, you can spell game. Game over, right? Another A. Another A. That could be relevant for somebody. An I. Okay, I am. And you have the soccer ball, so I just heard, this is going to sound weird, but for some reason I just started hearing the song Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls in my head. And has nothing to do with the soccer ball, so I don't know where that came from, but I heard playing games. So I think I might just leave that there. I don't know if that means something to somebody, but don't play games, don't go chasing waterfalls. So that might have to do something with emotions. Chasing your emotions, maybe not letting your emotions get the better of you here, or not letting it get carried away, or something like that could be here. This person, again, this person that's here for some of you is someone that can play games, emotional games. So maybe that's part of it, not to get too caught up in that, because if you have all this emotion here, that could really be something that kind of gets carried away. So I would say maintain the sense of being in this logical state. So you have the owl, which brings me to the owl. Using your higher judgment, your better judgment, your higher wisdom. Don't worry about the things you can't control. You can't, like I already said, remember before, you can't control what this person thinks. Yeah. You have an R here. Oh, gamer. Just turned in my head. So this is the red flag for me. It's like the bow tie with the yellow and red. But you have yellow here too. So it's like you already are like, be cautious. You've already seen kind of the red flags here. Yeah, to me the white in this would represent confusion. So this may be somebody that really likes to keep you in that place of confusion. You'll know what that means. Feeling good like I should. And then the one I'm holding, which I don't know why, and I haven't said. I'm working on myself, by myself, for myself. I feel like that resonates very well with what I said here with this resting energy. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm going to leave it here. But thank y'all. MIA is something that's there. Maybe somebody went MIA on you. Okay. Thank y'all so much for being here. Thanks for all your love and all your support and all for your kindness. And I really appreciate you guys. I'm sending you so much love and light. And I hope to see you soon. Bye. Okay, pile 3. So if you chose trust, then this is going to be your reading. Okay. So looks like paradise here, doesn't it? So trusting in the silence or trusting in the peace is something I feel like is here. This may be where you are currently at this time. We're taking a look and seeing what is coming towards you. But at this moment in time, or when this comes towards you, you may feel like you are in a good, well-balanced place. Like you are trusting the situation. You trust where you are is where you're meant to be. And things are calm and they seem like they're good. They feel good, right? So this is where you're going to be at whenever whatever this is comes towards you. So hopefully we don't ruin that for you here too much. I am kind of worried, to be honest with you. Trust is a big thing. Okay. We are going to use, wow, look at that, trust. Terrific is at the bottom. Trusting in the good moments, trusting in the greatness. Okay. Trusting where you are, yeah. You may have a hard time, when things start to feel like they're going really good. You're like kind of looking around your shoulder going, okay, when's a bad thing going to happen? It's going to happen any minute. I know it. You may have very good reason for that. You may have some things that have happened to you in your life or in the past that kind of cause you to feel that way. But, I mean, I think some of that is pretty human, you know, especially the way that things are in the world now are difficult. And so there are a lot of times where we tend to want to look over our shoulder when things are going good. There's some energy here of needing to enjoy it, but for some of you with what's coming towards you, you may have a particular reason you're doing that. You know, like you've been warned here or something, because this bell is here with this trusting. So call, warn, wake up, and signal. So it almost like you're trying maybe to be in this trustful, calm place, but there's a part of you or something that's telling you to, or maybe you've seen something where you're like going, should I trust this? Exam. So you may be still trying to decide. Okay, now we're getting to the real stuff here. So let's see. Yeah, now as I said that, now we're getting to the real stuff. So you could be in a situation where you're feeling like it can't be like this good, you know, or it can't be like, or you already have reason, like I said, to be looking for something. Okay. This is the answer oracles that we're going to use to start, and then we'll get the tarot. Tell me about pile 3 and what's coming towards them, what they need to know about what's coming towards them. There's that bell card wanting to come out again. I'm not going to take all these because there's a lot here, but tell me about that. What's coming towards them? Gossip. Rumors, perhaps. Speculation. Slander. Okay. Disappear. Something that's been hidden or grounded, buried. Reject. Family. Run is at the bottom. This feels like somebody running from something. The speculation here, I feel like, is what I was picking up on shuffling the cards as far as trusting the situation. So that's the red flag, or that's the thing that's over your shoulder. There's something here to do with some sort of gossip, some sort of rumors or speculation, or something that is still kind of in the energy, which is keeping you being able to really enjoy or trust fully. There's something here that maybe you've forgotten somewhat. You know, when we're in that happy, peaceful place with someone or a situation or wherever, we want to maintain it that as long as we can. And because of that, sometimes we put ourselves in denial or even plumb forget, you know, certain things that we've heard or seen or in certain situations. And there may be something here that's coming up that reminds you of something that you may have forgotten about, or something that's always been there. There's something to do with this that you thought was over and done with or disappeared in some way that's resurfacing here for you. This could have something to do with family or someone's family. With this rejection here, it could have to do with why someone's family has rejected them, or feeling rejected from family could be something that's here. This could be like trying to find the truth with chase here, trying to chase after the truth. It has to do with the past and processing through that. Of maybe perhaps why something was declining, or this determination that's here too has to do something with something fading. Like someone here is maybe like trying to push something to the back, or trying to push something to the background, or covering over it, running away from the issues or running away from the truth in some way. This feels like every time you ask somebody something that they kind of say everything but answering the question straight up, something like that. Also, this old refrigerator here, it's a clarifier for me for the cards because my cousin just got one of these old refrigerators. And did y'all know that they used to have Lazy Susans in them? You know what a Lazy Susan is? It kind of, you spin it, goes all the way around so you can get everything from the back. The refrigerator used to have Lazy Susans automatically in them. And I was thinking, you know how many things in my refrigerator we would have used before they went bad? Just because if we had Lazy Susans, everything gets pushed to the back. I forget I even have it back there. The kids just, I organize, they mess up. Anyways, this to me, I was thinking about this, and I was thinking, how like a Lazy Susan, it's like, oh, we'll put that to the back of the room. We'll put that to the back of the fridge, so maybe they'll forget about it, It's where my son hides all of his good snacks. So I think that there's something to do with that here. Somebody kind of put something in the back, and I think that you're remembering it, and you're going, wait a second. Weren't we having a conversation about this? Or, hey, now wait just a minute. Didn't we talk about that? Or didn't I hear something about that? I don't know, something to do with gossip that somebody may have shut down and you're remembering now, and you're like going, well, wait just a minute. I'm remembering something. And it's like when you're remembering it, it's like you're seeing everything differently, or you're reliving it differently. Because of what you know now, or because of where you are now. Does that make sense? Okay. Hope that made sense. Page of Swords and the King of Pentacles. So this is a message here coming from a King of Pentacles energy, Capricorn. This could also be you looking and finding information. This can be a husband, father, or a boss. Somebody you've known for a long time. Three of Swords in the reverse. That can be like forgiveness, healing. Five of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay. Oh, this is the Journey of Oz and Wonderland. What is coming towards pile 3? Gossip. Okay. That's the Four of Swords in the reverse. The Red King. Okay. Yeah, you know what I said before about you kind of putting something off, not thinking about it? This is something that's coming up because it's something that you're hearing, or someone's asking that makes you think about it. Disappear. That's the Hermit in reverse. Something like, yeah, being hidden. It's coming back up. It's resurfacing. Something you forgot. Reject. You have Judgment here. Making a judgment call around this rejection. You know, putting your foot down, or someone putting their foot down around this. Scorpio and Virgo is here. Family. King of Wands. Leo. This is someone taking action here. Being the leader. Okay. Taking action, being the leader. What is coming towards Paul? 3. Tell me about the Four of Swords, please. In reverse. That's the Nine of Cups. Okay. Yeah, this is coming out of this feeling here. So it kind of feels like you're coming out of a fantasy or an illusion, or whether or not you can trust someone. You're coming out of this. The Nine of Cups can be, it's like maybe you've been kind of drunk on wanting to trust the situation because it makes you feel at peace or calm. Maybe you've been kind of in that place, or someone's kind of helped you to be in that place. And now you're realizing, or someone's like saying something that's like waking you up, and you're like, wait a second. Okay. Hermit in reverse. There's that Five of Pentacles in the reverse. This can be like coming out of self-denial. Kidding yourself about a situation, but not it's like you're pulling yourself out of this somehow, or it's this speculation or rumors that's taking place, some kind of gossip that occurs here. What's coming towards you is, I think that you're having a realization of, are you really happy here? Or is this kind of an illusion from what I really need to be looking at? And there's things here that are going to occur that are going to make you wake up to this, where you start to second guess it. You start to think about it and you're like, wait. I am like, this is a fantasy here that I'm in, or I've created about the situation in some way. Yeah, this is coming out of the dark. This is reappearing, right? We have disappear here. It's like you've kind of disappeared to this happy-go-lucky fun place, and it's like, wake up call. Okay. Reject. This can be like something to do with finances or financially in some kind of way. Or with someone, something to do with finances. Again, the teapot, the gossiping energy. Tell me about Judgment with reject. The Hanged Man in reverse. I'm telling you, it's almost like you're sitting with a friend, and your friend says something to you about like the person that you're with, that because maybe they knew that person longer than you, or something like that. And they say something about them, and you're like, really? They did that? Or they were like that? Or they said that? And I don't know, there's something that's there, and it's like, it causes you to be, it plants a seed in your mind, and it makes you think, oh yeah, I kind of forgot about that. Or you're looking at it going, I mean, I can kind of see that differently now. I can kind of see that now. That Hanged Man in reverse is a perspective shift with Judgment. And this is what I'm saying in this reading, what's coming towards you. You're getting some kind of, there's a perspective shift, but there's also, like, I think that you're in a hard position or a hard place when it comes to making certain judgment calls around whatever this is. Or someone is going to highly reject that. It's interesting. Why is the King of Wands here with the family? King of Swords. I think you may be giving someone benefit of the doubt or an opportunity despite what you're just kind of flipping on that awareness switch and saying, okay, we'll see what happens. It's like you're given the benefit of a doubt here. King of Swords, King of Wands with family. It's definitely being logical and being smart, being the leader here when it comes to family, when it comes to togetherness or planting roots of some sort. Give me one more for that. So I think this is someone. It could be you as well, but I think it's like you're giving someone the benefit of a doubt here in this situation. I want to backtrack through here and get some clarifiers for each. I'm just going to start over here. There's the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so this is what you're waking up from. There's the Wizard of Oz. The Oz. You know, and it wasn't real either, you know. Just so you're aware, you know, it wasn't real either. This is potential. This is like you've been so caught up in the potential of what something is that you've been kind of putting certain things on the back burner or not, or maybe even plumb forgetting about it or storing it in the back of your mind somehow. And because of this gossip or whatever this rumors or whatever this is coming up, you're like putting on your barriers now. You know, now you have your guards up. You're more alert when it comes to trust. Five of Pentacles in the reverse, the Hermit. That's the Eight of Cups in the reverse. There's something here to do with either someone being emotionally detached, or perhaps the reason why someone has walked away. This could also be whether or not you should walk away, or someone has walked away from a pattern. Okay? So I feel like this is all up for debate, to be honest, whatever it is. It's the whole idea of patterns and walking away that's kind of up for debate, and that's where your awareness is kicking in, saying, okay, I'm not in this fantasy anymore. I'm now aware that it's possible that I might have to emotionally detach from this or walk away from this at some point. I'm going to pay attention to what I'm seeing, the patterns. I'm not going to just bury my head in the sand here with this. Okay. So why is this? We'll find out exactly about where this is coming from here, why you're getting this wake-up call. But with gossip, I feel like it more so has to do something with hearing something from someone else. Or seeing information, you know. The Hanged Man in the reverse with Judgment is the Queen of Wands. The King and Queen of Wands here. So this can be a very passionate, fiery connection. Very, maybe started kind of lustful even for some of you, not everybody, but very passionate, very fiery. Go-getters, you know, they play off of each other's energy, almost like in competition with each other, but a playful kind of feeling. Sagittarius for me, Leo, Aries is here, obviously, with these fire signs. So, with this Judgment underneath that Scorpio, Pisces. So this is feeling confident here and kind of sticking around, like making a judgment call to basically, for some of you may reject this, but I think with the Hangman in reverse, it's like you're putting this on hold and letting it play out and see how it plays out. And you feel confident in yourself in doing this. You know, like I feel very confident in who I am and where I am and how I'm seeing the situation. I'm alert to certain things now. I have my guard up here. I feel confident in myself that I'll be able to make the right decision for myself if I need to, even if that comes to a rejection. Okay. just flew right over there, didn't it? It's the Two of Cups. So that's a soulmate connection. This is also about making a choice and a commitment. So this is someone that you're giving a chance or opportunity. She's looking right, the Rooster's here, the Queen of Wands is looking right at this Two of Cups. So it's like, okay, I will give you this chance. I will give you this opportunity. I will give this commitment to you, for you to take the lead, for you to be in this place, do the right thing, and plant these seeds, take care of the family, bring us together, this supportive energy that's here. Okay, that's where you are. This is what's coming towards you. This is this realization. I don't know necessarily this is like a conversation that you're having with somebody. This is in your head about whatever it is that you're hearing. So it's like, okay, I know that about them now, but I'm still going to give them this chance to show me differently, show me something different. And it has to do a lot with the investment that you've already made. Also the potential that you see. It's just like somebody's shaking you and saying, okay, I get it. You see the potential here, but now let's be realistic of what you know, where you are, how things are, What is the gossip? Can you give me any more information about that? This gossipy energy. Wasn't expecting that. That's the Nine of Pentacles. I mean the Four of Pentacles. Why did I say 9? Now I'm gonna like question. Now I'm gonna second guess myself. That might mean something here in this reading about second guessing yourself. Golly. Yes, that is 4. I had to actually I had to go look. You know how long it's been since I've had to do that? I actually really I knew it was what it was, but anyway, I really feel like that's how you feel here though. There's this awareness and like going back and second guessing things here. Okay, so the Four of Pentacles for that gossip, this is maybe something that someone's been keeping close to their chest, something that someone has been afraid to kind of express or say. This could have to do with someone's greediness, perhaps, or their possessiveness even. Okay, so this is the Metamorphosis card in reverse. This could have to do with the inability for someone to evolve or change, and the reasoning behind that being of their own, because of their own inability to level or move up, or, there's this Four of Pentacles is where you're really kind of holding on, but it's also representing the boundaries that now after this gossip or awareness you see that you need to put into place. And it has to do with whether or not there's some kind of progress that's being made here, or changes that are being made here. Yeah, the Chariot. For the better. This really feels like you're seeing someone repeating some kind of cycle or something. Or it's very familiar from what something happened in the past with them. Even if you weren't involved, there's something here that's just resurfacing with that. It's making you more and more alert, more and more aware. This could be something that you hear while passing. So what I mean by that is passing through and you stop and have a quick conversation here with somebody, or you overhear something, or it can just be gossip, so a friend coming to you telling you something. What is it though exactly? Okay. Justice. What about it? Libra energy. The Magician in reverse. Has to do with someone manipulating a situation here in order to gain something. What? Two of Swords in reverse. This has to do with some sort of cutoff or block because of some kind of manipulation and fairness. This could have to do with relationships because of Libra being there. But you also have some Gemini and Virgo. Two of Swords in reverse on this situation can be information that was left out. Oh, you know, you ever be in a relationship and someone tells you like a story of their past, and then the deeper and closer you get in that relationship, they pop off and say certain things, and you're like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, I remember I told you, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, no, I would have remembered that. You did not tell me that. But at that point, you're already so far into the relationship, you know, it doesn't matter as much if they would have told you that in the beginning. You know, it's like, if you would have told me that in the beginning, we would never went this far, you know. There's something like that that's here for some of you. And it has to do with some kind of manipulation or something being not what it was. Someone not having what they said. You know, something like that is going on. Okay, so this is the gossip that you're hearing. Something to do with that. Tell me more about this person over here with the Two of Cups. This could be somebody that's chasing you as well, trying to have this commitment with you. Okay. That's the Eight of Swords in the reverse. So this is someone that's kind of dedicated to getting you out of your head about them or the situation. Give me one more. Okay. So Seven of Pentacles. So when it comes to the longevity, when it comes to, this could also be you looking at it going, okay, I'm gonna agree to give you this opportunity for you to show me that you want this. Show me that what this means to you. With that Seven of Pentacles, it's like, we have these goals, we have this future. I'm going to give you this chance to show me. So you could be the one with this Eight of Swords where you're looking at this person and saying, okay, well, take action, be the leader, do the thing, and show me that this is, we have a future here together, and I will get out of my head here about trusting you in this situation. So, okay. All right. So what advice do you need moving forward with this? Wait, is there anything I'm missing here that needs to be talked about before I get advice? Anything I'm missing here that needs to be talked about? The Ten of Swords. Okay, well, what's the Ten of Swords? King of Cups in the reverse. This person may have done something here to you that was emotionally inconsiderate. And that's very specific, I feel like. But you have some Scorpio energy here. Or they are can be very emotionally detached, right? They may have manipulated the way something ended here as well. And give me a clarifier for that, whatever this is, that they need to be aware of or need to know. Ten of Swords. Page of Pentacles. This is somebody that may have made something, may have made you feel like you're making a big deal out of nothing. Because that's 10 Swords. And that's just a Page of Pentacles. That feels like somebody giving you a little bit for doing a lot. You know what I mean? Like, here's a little word of apology, but they did like horrible, awful things or said something really cut deep or, you know, whatever. 10 Swords is an ending. It's a brutal ending. It's painful. Something was painful here. I feel like there is somebody here that was emotionally inconsiderate. At some point. This may have been something that was sugar-coated or looked over because of this Page of Pentacles. This feels like somebody that's trying to get you to overlook something that isn't a little thing. Yeah, why is that King of Cups here? I don't feel like this is going to resonate. This part might not resonate for everybody. This could also just be past energy here, right? Yeah, Three of Swords. That's forgiveness. Why are they so sure about this? Someone that's confident in being able to, I mean, getting forgiveness out of you. So, the Tower. See what I mean by the big thing? This feels like somebody that's asking you to just forgive them, and there's this small offer, maybe apology here. But whatever it is, they are trying to keep something intact. But they are trying to get you to overlook something very big, too, with the Tower. Scorpio energy. Basically, this is like somebody saying to get over it, but within a sincere way, if you can do that. You know, that's what this is. It's like kind of asking you to drop something, you know, just drop it. I apologized. Why are you showing me this? Is this what's coming, or is this the past that they need to think about or keep in mind? Especially if you start to see that as a cycle, right? Like you're always having to swallow your pride, or your, not pride, but, yeah, this person never does, you know? Or you're always having to kind of, this feels kind of gaslighty, like somebody making you feel dumb for feeling, you know? Or like stuff is your fault when it's not. Page of Cups here in reverse. I was asking why this is important here in this. If this is past or hasn't happened. I don't think this has happened yet. This may be a challenge here. This is going to be challenging. Why is this so challenging here? Because you're still healing from something. So what that does, it creates dirty laundry in your mind, right? Like you never fully understand the hurt that was caused, or why, or reconcile in a way that helps you to move on and past it. You know, this is like somebody that only gives you breadcrumbs, or gives you enough to make things better in the moment and get over the situation, but never really want to like quit bringing it up. You know, it's that kind of feeling like we would be fine if you wouldn't go into all this, you know, that it's kind of got gaslighty, and it's like creating this dirty laundry in your head of these piles of things that you felt like you half got into, or you half cleared up, you know, that still need to, there's still pieces missing there, you know. So just be careful that can really pile up. You know, that's a pattern. What is this person's ultimate intentions here with you? Why is that? Knight of Wands in the reverse. I just started getting a headache, guys. The Six of Pentacles in the reverse. That makes me nervous here with this Knight of Wands in the reverse. That feels like, I mean, that's when things are not reciprocal or not balanced, not fair. One person's giving more than the other. The Knight of Wands in reverse tends to be wishy-washy. So I just feel like this is somebody you can't really rely on to be fair with you. It's kind of because we already went through that. So, but they sure are putting on a show right now. What's that? Why is that? Why is that they're putting on this show over here? The Seven of Swords, guys. this is what I just said, putting on a show. And literally, look, that's what he does. That's so funny. This is the Seven of Swords. It's about deception, right? So putting on a show. And what's funny is that this is the story in Alice in Wonderland with the walrus and the carpenter, right? And they put on a show. It's like pretending to be there for the clams, right? Just so he can eat them, you know. That's a confirmation. Okay, so let's get some advice now. Okay, moving forward, Queen of Cups as part of your advice. Okay, that's Cancer energy. You have the Moon here, which is also some Cancer, but Pisces is the card. Moon in reverse. This is telling me that things have already been revealed to you. Don't let your emotions control you in this situation. Keep going. The Ten of Wands in reverse. Know when something is not worth savaging, or when something is unobtainable, or it's like you're putting on more burden than what you need to. Don't take more than what you need to take. And a lot of us grow up like that. You know, a lot of us, so I know with me and with my religious background, I was taught to always put everyone else above me, before me. And unfortunately, I have been in that place of most of my life, which has ended me up in bad situations because I put someone else's needs before my own, even in relationships, and always end up, not getting my needs met in that relationship and feeling depleted, like I've been used or taken advantage of. And I've realized over the past, definitely the few years that I here recently, a lot of that is unfortunately on me because I allowed it. I should have put my boundaries in place, but that was so dead set in my life as part of my belief system, is putting everyone else's needs before my own. So that's just kind of what this is talking about here. It's just saying, don't care for yourself, take care of yourself, which I feel like is part of a collective energy, a message that's been coming through on these readings. But taking care of yourself and your own needs and your own emotional needs as well. And the moon is kind of saying, don't get caught up in the illusion. So when you are a very emotional person, you can get caught up in the emotions, even if that's just the illusion of the possibilities of what things could be, right? The way it's going to feel when you get that final stability of that peace and everything being harmonious. Don't get carried away in that, and don't be the one that's putting... Sorry guys, that was my alarm. Just scared the living daylights out of me. He was behind my back. Just started singing. Gave me chills up my spine. Made me feel like somebody was back there. Anyways, just shake that off for a minute. So this is kind of like that same thing. It's like saying, okay, don't allow yourself to get into the illusion, and don't get carried away and try to be building that up, with this Ten of Wands. Don't be picking up swords and just to keep yourself in that illusion of trusting that situation or that person or that place or that peace that's being created, because you're creating it. And if you're in a partnership or relationship, it should be equal on both parts, right? Not you creating the peace because sounds like my first marriage. Walking on eggshells all the time. If it wasn't for me walking on eggshells, we would not be at peace, and that becomes so heavy, Okay. Can really destroy you doing that in a relationship. What other advice do you have here for pile 2 or pile 3? I'm sorry. What other advice do you have for pile 3? Okay, Two of Wands in reverse. Sometimes you can go down a path and you can say, well, this is a dead end. And you can turn around and go back and take a different path. And that's okay. I don't know why you need to be reminded of that, but you're needing to be reminded of that. Two of Wands in reverse is like saying, well, this is not what I planned, but okay, I'm going to have to choose something else. I'm going to have to choose a different route. Any other advice around that? Yeah, the Messenger. I feel like this kind of is insinuating it's okay to do that, to choose a different path if you need to. And I think also this is kind of like a message here that's coming and saying, you'll know when. You'll know when. You won't need to ask yourself that. You're already aware, you're looking, you're paying attention, you know, and I think that you're standing strong in your convictions here when it comes to what it is that you want. And you will be able to intuitively pick up on those signs and those patterns. And you need that message of, hey, I had to turn around because I feel like I'm fixing to hit a dead end here. You'll know when. You'll know when. There's no question here in that. You're very intuitive when it comes to the situation. Very aware now. Okay, Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. I honestly feel like that this is a situation that may not have what you need. I think that this is a hard realization. Yeah. Because you took a risk here on this, Ace of Cups in reverse. And I think you had really high hopes. And I think, you know, the higher our hopes are, the harder it is when you fall. And I just feel like you're going through this realization of maybe this isn't what you need. Or maybe this isn't what you thought. Yeah, but you're still giving it an opportunity. At least that's what I see on the table. Okay, let's get some overall energy for advice. And I'm actually going to use something different for y'all. I was doing the postcard from Spirit, but I feel called to do something else for y'all, okay? Not those. I grab those and these other ones the same all the time. They don't even look the same. It's just always, they're like, they love each other. They're just, I always accidentally grab the wrong ones. I just saw self-limiting beliefs, and that's in strength and how strong you are. You're strong enough, I just said. Yeah, and I talked about my self-limiting belief, you know, about believing I had to put others first before I met my own needs. Yeah. I can be honest, at least as a mother, I find that when I'm capable of taking care of myself, you know, make sure I'm getting enough sleep, make sure I'm getting enough coffee, make sure that I'm getting, you know, my medications that I need, and, you know, taking care of myself and getting my overall, you know, hygiene and health is taken care of. I'm able to enjoy being a mother more, and therefore my kids enjoy me more, you know, and I get to enjoy more experiences with them better. If I'm drained and I am wore out, which most of us are these days, just there's too much stuff that we've accumulated or that we have to do, or that, or, you know, your kids are in this, they're in that, and you know, you have to really realize that you have to make some eliminations sometimes in order to at least have that connection, that time, and be in that happy place, so that your kids get to see you in that place, in that environment too. That might mean something here for y'all and might be important to y'all, you know, what your kids are, if you have kids here, or what your kids are seeing, because family's here. Okay. I think one thing that I said to my first ex-husband, yes, I've been divorced twice. The one thing I said to my first ex-husband, I got married very young. I was 19. And was at the end of it, I said, you know, I want to be completely honest with you. I feel like I can be a better mother if we weren't in a relationship together. And that was because I was doing everything to make sure that he was not upset with anything, which was hard. And I was a better mom, not being in that relationship. It's just mentally and physically and emotionally just exhausted me. Okay. Anyways, here we go. Advice for Paul 3. Yep. Sacrifice. Giving up something now for a future reward. Just like what I talked about with my story. I had to give up that happy family that I envisioned in my head so that I could have that, be a better mother for my son. And that's a sacrifice. Be open to change. Be receptive to new experiences. Change leads to growth. What was that? Rest is right there. It didn't come out though. We'll see if it comes out again. Peace though. It's just, that's enough. That's good enough, right? Peace and contentment are coming to you. So in this situation here, you're going to know what to do, and you're going to feel good about what you're doing, whatever you decide. You're going to give, I do feel like for most of you, you will give this person this opportunity or chance, and you'll react accordingly to how it plays out. And I think you're going to be satisfied with that, because I think that you are going to feel like that you gave it the chance, and that was good enough, Bottom of the deck is passion. Now, I talked about passion earlier, but I talked about you and this person and it being a passionate connection. It says, don't be afraid to fail. Follow what makes your heart happy. So that's just another reminder, right? Kind of like my story. I think the most important and the best thing for me in that moment was to be a good mom to my kid and him to grow up in that way. And so I had to follow that. And this is kind of insinuating this same scenario. Just make sure that you're remembering, don't be afraid to fail, even if it's not the route that you thought you were going to be taking. Know that you can change your mind. You can turn around. You can go a different route. You can do that. And you can be just as happy, just as good, and just as peaceful as what you imagined to begin with, right? Okay. One more. One more card for advice, and then we'll move on to some initials and some charms to close. Okay. Pile 3. I don't know why, but I feel like somebody just said that this isn't what's coming towards them. This is something that you've already experienced. So maybe this reading just may be helpful to kind of clarify some things up for you. Okay. Increase your knowledge, number 15. So needing to go and dive deeper into the understandings here of the situation. Paying attention especially to patterns. They tell you a lot. It says education brings opportunities. Take a course, pick up a book, find a mentor to teach you what your soul longs to know. So for some of you, you've been getting this inkling of this might have to do with work or something like that. And this is kind of insinuating too, not to let this situation kind of overfill you're in your head, causing anxiety or stress. It's kind of saying, put some of that energy into expanding your knowledge or educating yourself or taking, picking up something new and learning something new. Because if this does come to a place to where you're having to take a different route, you will feel even more independent, more comfortable, and more confident in yourself if you are at least, learning about something else or because that always makes us feel like more confident, right? I feel like it does. When we learn something new, we feel like we've gained more information. We know all about that now, and that's a pretty cool thing because we didn't know that before, and there's people that don't know that. So yeah, that gives you confidence, So increasing that, it will help you in this other situation too, because I do feel like for some of you in the future, you may see yourself having to make some sacrifices, some difficult sacrifices at that. Okay. Okay, let's see what we got. I'm going to have to go to bed, guys. I'm tired. I did this late. And, can't believe I even got this far, to be honest with you. Okay. See, look. See these two hearts? Remember we talked about equal give and take, reciprocity? It's almost like you're willing to like put more into it or give more of yourself emotionally than someone else is. It really has that feel to it in this reading. So you will definitely know if this is your reading, right? I'm working on myself, for myself, and by myself. You also have the new moon with the black cat. So listen to your intuition when it comes to what you really want for yourself moving forward, you know. Yeah. N, Z, S, Q, J. We have an M and a W, or a W, S, and another Q. Two S's, two Q's, two M's, two M's and two W's. I am tired. I need to go to bed. Alright, guys. So I'm going to leave you right here. I definitely hope this helps. I'm sending y'all so much love and light. Good luck to you guys, and I hope to see you soon. Bye. Hey, pile 4. So if you chose pleasure, this will be your reading. Okay, so I just put some oil on my hands and made this card awfully shiny. So pleasure. So we're talking about what is coming towards you. And to see pleasure is a good thing, right? It's better than some of the others. So now on this card, there's a deer that's here. You can tell this is, in my head, I just heard a doe, a deer, a female deer, right? From the song. Awfully strange. There's this new moon kind of in the background here. And then you have this stairwell that leads up to this terrace, I guess you could say, something like that. This gate here, off into the clouds. Okay. So what do I gather from this? This to me would be about where you are now. So you may be in a place to where you're more in your receptive or feminine energy. You may be also in your emotions at this time. And there's this pathway here. You've made it through this pathway. You're in this grounded place, right? But you also know that there is this other opportunity that you could walk through here. And on the other side of that, there are a lot of uncertainties. There's a lot of the unknown. And so I feel like you're just trying to enjoy this place that you are, which I also feel is kind of an overall energy, right, in the collective at this time, because this is a timeless reading, but it is the end of the year right here. We're fixing to go into the new year next week, and it's kind of when you go through your year and you kind of tell yourself, you know, what you've accomplished, where you are at, making peace with where you are, and that's kind of what we're seeing here. But there's this fixation on where you are in this present moment, and almost knowing that there's an opportunity that's there, but beneath or beyond that opportunity is it's very unclear, uncertain. And there's a part of you that just kind of really wants to stay in this present moment. So it's like you're trying to hold on to the way you feel and the energy that you feel at this time as long as you possibly can, you know. Okay, so that's interesting. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to start with some oracle cards. Okay, guys, so sorry. So actually, I couldn't decide on what cards to use for y'all for the oracles to start with, and so I had to meditate on it for a minute, actually. I just couldn't decide. So we're going to use the Twin Flame Audio Oracles for y'all. And let me give these a few more shuffles before we get started. Okay, so what is coming towards pile 4? What is coming towards pile 4? What is coming towards pile 4 that they need to be aware of? What is coming towards pile 4 that they need to be aware of? Okay. Bottom of the deck says karmic ties. Okay. Try to get these in the order that they came out. All right. First card we have is cost of vanity. So that's a superficial relationship, you know, living in some kind of illusion about things. You also have taking action. Someone wanting to take action here towards you, or this could be about you taking control of a situation or someone doing that. We have a cleanup crew. So this looks like somebody trying to clean up some kind of illusion here. That's what that looks like. Deep wisdom. So you may be getting some kind of truth or clarity here about something. And the Empress is at the bottom. So this feels like a relationship. This doesn't have to be a love relationship. For some of you, this has to do with a relationship with a family member or a coworker. There's something like that here. It's just some kind of karmic tie that you have. There's the debt that is needing to be owed. And that's what we're looking at, okay? So I do feel like that there is, with pleasure here, though, we'll figure out what, there's a deeper meaning behind that. It could be someone's intentions. So just let me work through this and we'll figure it out. I do feel like that there is some kind of illusion that's here, and someone's taking action to try to clean up some sort of an illusion that's here. They're wanting to, you can see the truth clearly. They're wanting to give you some kind of information or truth or clear something up in order to cleanse. And this is someone that, with this Empress energy, this is someone that wants to grow something here with you. They see you. That's where the pleasure is coming in. I feel like this person sees you like as highly important or valued or desirable. You know, this is someone that is just wanting, if depending on the situation and who this is to you, this could also just mean that this is someone that sees value here in this or in you. Okay. So there's a clearing energy that's here. This cleanup crew is here. So we're going to use the Wild Reflections Tarot to get started. It's like somebody's giving you information you don't have. This, I also feel, though, this feels like somebody that's trying to get you to, yeah, Knight of Cups in reverse, Page of Swords in reverse. I don't feel like this is someone that's, like, this is someone that's trying to get you to read between the lines, and whatever lines that looks like is something that I feel like could be missing some information. This is like when someone really like analyzes something and they say, okay, I want to clear the air. I want to make a good choice. I want to clean up the situation. But how much less can I say to where I can accomplish that goal, but I don't have to confess to everything, or I don't have to talk about everything. You know, it's that kind of a feelings here. Karmic ties. Calm storm. Okay. Cost of vanity. Tell me about that. Oh, I was just fixing to say, I think that might be the cost of, like, someone I feel like is getting some kind of karma from a situation, or there's a debt here. There's something that's happening here with someone. With that Three of Cups in reverse, the cost of vanity, that is a superficial relationship. You know, it's where there's no trust there. It wasn't something that, some sort of an illusion is here. So what you see is not what's really going on. That's something that's there, you know. This is, to me, the betrayal, or not being able to trust something. Okay. So I'll get the cards out and then we'll pull this together, because it does feel like there's a lot of moving parts here. So why is the taking action here? Yeah, justice in reverse. That's taking action over something that is not balanced, fair, just, cleanup crew. Ooh, there you go, the Three of Swords. So cleaning up the heartbreak, cleaning up the betrayal or deception that was here, the unjust, the Three of Cups. Definitely third-party energy or outside interference in some way. Deep wisdom. Ace of Swords. Is that, yes, that's deep wisdom. So there's some kind of truth, clarity, or communication, truthful, honest communication that's here. You know, that's giving you some information or wisdom that you don't have. Empress. Two of Cups. So there's a contact or relationship. This feels like somebody betrayed you and now they're trying to come back and make the right choice and clear the air. That's what it feels like. Why is the Three of Cups in the reverse? The Lovers. Someone made a choice, perhaps to step outside of a relationship. For some of you, that's the case. For others of you, this is a card of choice. It's what aligns with you and what doesn't align with you. And something here cost someone a relationship or cost someone whatever it is that they align with. Someone else did this. Something else did this. So, you know, you could be fixing to get a promotion and what you thought was a friendly coworker, turns out that that person actually reported you for certain things, and now you don't get the promotion that you've been looking for, but you weren't aware of that. And this is someone that's coming to you and kind of clearing the air and apologizing about this. Or it's just someone's giving you this information about this, you know, and you're going, what, you know, what the hell? What the hell, Bob? I don't know where that came from, but anyways, basically, like, this could also obviously represent a love relationship. You have the Lovers and the Two of Cups here. But you're getting this truth or this clarity either directly or indirectly about the situation that caused this separation, betrayal, breakup. Justice in the reverse. This is somebody that feels like they're making the right decision, or they're making the right choice here by doing this, a healthy choice. Justice in the reverse, the High Priestess. Now, this is laying on this person. Like, this is guilt. This is shame that's kind of sitting on this person's shoulders. They feel as if creating some sort of injustice in their situation or in their life. So they're wanting to take control because of that. Okay, so the Three of Swords, cleanup crew. The Two of Pentacles in the reverse. It's not just the fact that they have this weight on their shoulders from the situation. There's added pressure in some capacity that is also influencing this person to make this decision to take this action. And I don't know I can't pinpoint what exactly that is, because that's going to look a little different for everybody. But in some capacity, this person will benefit off of this, you know, apologetic type of energy that's here. Because even if that's just getting in a balanced place, or not wanting it to cause any more issues, you know, it's that kind of a thing. Okay, so Two of Pentacles in reverse is the imbalance, and it's still imbalanced. It's still up in the air. This is cleaning up the fact of someone making not the best choices, or they didn't prioritize something in the right way, and it ended up betraying, hurting someone or others. Okay, Ace of Swords. What's this about? The Temperance in reverse. Now that is a heated conversation. Sagittarius energy with that Ace of Swords. What about this? It's almost like somebody did something out of frustration, or maybe even fear, or it's just, I feel like more so frustration though. Tell me more about what that is. This is like the truth around someone not feeling good about, you know, what they did or how things are. Temperance in reverse. The Magician. Yeah, this is somebody that's trying to turn this around. This feels like somebody saying, if I give you this truth, this apology, or this understanding, then I feel like it will help the situation, and then we can move on here, right? Two of Cups. Chariot in reverse. Okay, remember when I said there's something else or something where this person can benefit off of this? It's not just the guilt or shame that they're carrying. That's this to me. This feels like somebody kind of, this is a type of codependency. It's like somebody riding your coattails or jumping in your chariot, you know, hitching a ride. It's that kind of an energy. And Cancer here, with that Two of Cups and that Empress, this feels like someone that depends on a relationship in some way, or they see you as dependable, even if that's emotionally. So they want you to be on their side in some way, right? Because that, in turn, they benefit from that. How do they benefit from that? Did y'all see that? This whole stack of cards just came out. How do they benefit from that? Well, a lot, apparently. My God. Hold on. Let's do it again. How do they benefit from this relationship? That was crazy. The Knight of Pentacles. Security, safety. Can you clarify that at all? Page of Swords in the reverse. It's funny, my phone just, my I don't know if y'all can hear it, but my phone just, so that's my sister that's texting me. Sorry, I'm reading it. Oh my gosh. She's complaining because her ex-husband hasn't seen his children in 5 months, and apparently he's still busy. So, anyway, I always have to say what's going on in the reading or something that comes through that could mean something to somebody, you know. Maybe 5 months is important, or not seeing someone for a long time, or, you know, she's frustrated because she feels like that's obviously not fair or right. So there's a justification thing that's going on here, which is the same thing in the reading. So, Page of Swords in the reverse, what came out with my message went off, can be when someone, like, you're being frustrated because you feel like someone's not being completely honest, or they lied about something, and we're asking about how is this person benefiting off of this relationship. I feel like this has something to do with not having to be completely honest about something, and they're able to more so take their time. What does that have to do with? The Nine of Cups in the reverse. To me, that would be that pleasure card. So, the Moon in reverse. There's something here to do with this person not being afraid of you saying something to somebody, or they wouldn't have to express the full truth. Now, I don't know what that means. So you are going to have to take that how it resonates, because if this is like that work thing, this would be like maybe you have some kind of information about that person, and if they get on your bad side, they can, tell people about it, and you don't want that to happen. So, or they don't want that to happen. So they are doing this because of that, It's that kind of feeling. The Moon in the reverse is like exposing. It's kind of like exposing someone's, for some of you, okay, some of you, this can be like exposing someone else's addictions or desires or fantasies in some way, or overindulgence in whatever that is. It's like exposing that. That's strange, right? Okay, let's move on. Tell me about what you really need to know about this situation. We have Pisces here too with the High Priestess, Gemini, Libra, Sagittarius. Okay, now we have some drama here going on. Five of Wands, that can be like competition as well. King of Swords, and the Eight of Pentacles. This could be work now. I'm going, the Eight of Pentacles is work. Five of Wands, what do you need to know about this? Oh, Five of Swords in reverse. I mean, I wouldn't put your guard down here with this person. I would still know that this person may... There's still this competitiveness that's here, You may have moved on from a betrayal, but there's still in this competitive nature, or... Why is that King of Swords here? That's Aquarius. Yeah, the Star. More Aquarius. And so this can be somebody that really is going to fight for you to be on their side or believe them. I also feel like they're approaching one situation in order to avoid conflict later. And that might not be with you. It may be with someone else. Okay. Why is this kind of feels like somebody that's determined to get what they want from the situation, right? They would rather deal with you now in this Five of Wands than to deal with a situation in a Five of Swords later. Why is that Eight of Pentacles here? The Nine of Wands. There's also something about this person feeling like they just have to kind of water or nurture this connection, and it's already... It's like they've already built something. They feel like if they just give you enough effort or attention or time, that you will that it will heal the situation, or it will make things better. But the Nine of Wands, if this has to do with work, I think that you may feel like this made the situation or the environment harder to deal with, but obviously, right, because of the atmosphere. the energy that you feel from the situation. But this feels like someone that's trying to not make something harder on themselves. So they're doing something, really honestly, I don't think this person really wants to do. But if they feel more so like they need to do this in order to just solidify the situation more for their benefit than to wait further down the line and it creates a worser situation. Does that make sense? Okay, so how are you seeing this person? I mean, you got the Three of Swords here, so how are you seeing this person? Page of Wands. You feel like this person's very, like, curiosity gets the better of them. They're very quick. They think they know more than they do, maybe. You know, it's, I don't know why I want to say that, but it's something that popped in my head. The Page of Wands tends to not know a lot about something and just jump into things. Okay. How do you see this person? The Nine of Pentacles in reverse. You may feel like this person lacks a lot. Like maybe they always kind of need something from you, or anything else. Seven of Cups in the reverse. You may feel like this person lacks attention as well. You may feel like this person's running out of options. Tell me about the Page of Wands. Ace of Pentacles. They lose opportunities because curiosity kind of gets the better of them. Nine of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords. They kind of act before they think. Like this is someone that reacts or acts before they really kind of think about it. It's just really impulsive when they get frustrated with the situation. Like they don't think about it. They just kind of do it out of frustration. This is someone that may like wait till the very last minute if they need something. Tell me about the Seven of Cups in the reverse. Page of Cups in the reverse. You may feel like this person they create a lot of illusions. We did start with that superficial, living in an illusion kind of energy. They could have created this environment with someone else too. Or had someone else believing something. Anyway. So you feel like this person may handle choices, especially maybe emotional decisions or choices, immaturely. Like they don't take the time to kind of really see what's in front of them, or maybe even appreciate what's in front of them. Like they feel reckless, right? Ace of Wands in the reverse. It's like that jumping before you think, or before you see what's down there, you know? They do it more for like the thrill of it, or to get away from something else. It's always, this feels like someone that's always kind of in a, I kind of want to say fight or flight, but that's not really exactly what it feels like. I think especially when this person, like, you know, when this person gets frustrated with something, that chances of them making a bad decision are pretty likely because they are impulsive, so they don't think. Which is funny because on the flip side, I feel like this person may overthink major things or like routine things, you know, pertaining to their safety, security, or something like that. They may overthink it. But when it comes to emotional situations or passion, like fiery situations, when they're angry or something like that, they're very quick to make a decision. So yeah, there's a flip side to that, right? It's kind of they're on the wrong end of that. If that makes sense. That's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of self-sabotaging energy. Okay, so let's get some advice for you, because this is what's coming toward you. If all that made sense. Okay, so I know y'all chose pleasure. And I do feel like if this has something to do with a romantic relationship, I do feel as if for some of you, confirmation, I do feel for some of you that this is something that is going to basically involve that. So, oh. Sorry guys, my cat, he's got a little nick on his hind leg. Must have got in a cat fight. I just can't walk out of the house without getting in a cat fight. He is a tough kitty. Anyway, there's this feeling here where with pleasure, this could be some sort of a temptation for y'all in some way. If this is romantic, there could be this tempting energy that's here, but there's this like, what's the cost of that? You know, that's something that's there. If that makes sense. Okay, let's get some advice. We're gonna start with Spirit Message Oracle, and then let's get some love messages. Well, yeah, no, we'll do Affirmator, okay? Because some of you, this is not pertaining to love. Tell me about, what advice can you give Pile 4 about this situation? Okay. So we have number 21, open up to your spiritual gifts. Remember that your true nature is spiritual, not physical. The angels are sending you messages to guide your soul's growth. So with this pleasure, remember like what you're getting out of the situation spiritually versus what you would get out of it physically. Okay, if that is a temptation for you guys, for some of you. Okay, and then they also have number 32, so you do have 1, 2, 3. The way forward is open. You're not trapped. Possibilities and opportunities abound. I will guide you to your personal and spiritual freedom. All right, so let's get an Affirmator, and then we'll get some initials and charms to close. So this is what's coming towards you. Someone trying to straighten things out. Okay. You're definitely going to get some information that you didn't have before. And this is someone that wants to see you as, sees the relationship with you as valuable, but they do have some sort of agenda around that as well, right? Usually in situations like this person will always show themselves over again. You know, when we have situations like this, especially when it's someone, you know, that we have to deal with, that we work with, or whatever the case, there's this allowance, so much of an allowance that's here. So allowing this person to, you know, bring this opportunity to clear the air with you, and just from now moving forward, you have this understanding of, okay, I see them, right? I see who they are. I understand who they are, and now I need to move forward and just kind of protect myself accordingly. So that feels like something that's here, right? And trust. And trust. And there's a bear and a mouse on a tightrope with sharks underneath. It says, I trust that everything will be okay in the end. Partly because I simply know that in my gut, but also because that's way more fun to live with trust and confidence than it is to be a defensive wiener. So that's kind of what I was insinuating here is you moving forward, when you lose trust with someone else, you have to, you really gain it with yourself. You should gain it with yourself because you learned from that experience and now you know how to better trust yourself and your own intuition and inner guidance when it says, whoa, 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 this feels fishy. This person has shown you themselves already. You more and more trust yourself and the guard that you allow with other people, and when to take a step back when you need to. You have power also at the bottom. So some of y'all could have resonated with that pile. There was a pile that was called power. I am strong. I am grounded. I am powerful. I am like a cross between a dinosaur and a tank, but not just a tank that's used for war. I am like a peaceful, loving dino tank who feels so strong it doesn't need to do anything but be. So there you go. Let's get some initials and some charms to close. Okay. You should know that either way, whatever happens with this situation and this person, you're still on the path to peace and joy. Oh. There was an A that came out of the bowl and hit it and flung behind me. I'll pick it up. But it did fall on the floor, so that I don't know if that means something to you guys or what, but you also have C, J, E, S, X, D, D, E. So, see, S, E, X is there. Pleasure, that whole thing I was telling you about. Temptation. Okay, and we also have, oh, come here, you. We have I, Z, E, K, W, or M, and an N. Send. Send. Okay. S-I-N. Sin is in the bowl. E-I-N. If y'all know what that is, you know. Okay, so it always seems impossible until it's done. Yeah. Yeet or be yeeted. I feel like that's kind of how your person's feeling, right? Or this person. We are what we believe we are. And don't worry about the things you can't control. And then you have the bow tie with the red and the yellow, which I usually see this as like a warning, right? How someone is or why someone's doing something, because the bow tie could be like dressing up for something, illusion there. But red can be the root chakra, and there may be some kind of an imbalance here. So don't be afraid of this. Don't be afraid of this causing instability. I feel like you will feel grounded. Like you're gonna feel secure. You maybe just don't let the situation rattle you. And I know that's easier said than done. So I just don't think that like the way that you're imagining this situation, I think you're gonna find yourself feeling a lot more grounded. I think if you allow fear to get the better of you in the situation, you can feel unstable. But that's all internal, not external to you, okay? Keep that in mind. Your stability and security of how you feel and groundedness is within you, and you have that there. It's there. Just don't let fear have its way with you. The yellow can be the solar plexus as well. So with that, it could be that don't let this person take the power away from you or feel like you don't have any control of the situation. Also, be careful not to let them pressure you or trigger your feelings in some kind of way to get some kind of reaction from you. I feel like this person may even, for some of you, utilize your insecurities to try to regain some kind of control of the situation. So just be, be prepared for that. Just stick to a certain way of you're seeing this, and make sure that anything this person says, you run it by that situation and see if it fits. Okay, so I feel like if I keep going, I'm going to get y'all even more confused. The bottom line, I feel like, is just to be confident in yourself, right? And feel in control in the situation, because you are in control in this situation, okay? All right. Okay. Don't let this person deter the image that you carry of yourself here, because I think that they may try. All right. Okay, so I'm going to leave you here. So definitely good luck, guys, on this. I really appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much for your love and support. And seed is in the bowl, so be careful of, someone trying to plant some seeds about yourself that aren't true. Okay. Thanks so much, guys, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.